Hey, welcome to the HR Happy Hour work break for a Monday. You're here with Steve and Trish. Trish, what's happening? What is going on
Hey,
there? Are you on the run?
I'm
Are
on
you
the run.
fleeing the authorities?
No, I'm actually in Fort Collins, Colorado. My nephew had a college visit at Colorado State, so I just dropped him off. Been working from a coffee shop, and it was a little too noisy in there to do the work break. So I'm out here
Yeah.
in my car. So yeah, I've got the hat on because it's cold, and yeah, I've got these. I'm like attached because I don't know. I have no idea why things aren't charged out here. But anyway, so I'm here. I do have a really nice cup of coffee
Do they
from
have different like electrical plugs out there in the mountains?
we do. It's a whole nother world, yes.
Yeah. What that is?
No, it's been good. It was a good weekend. I had to tell you, I got to go with my nephew and my son and my son's best friend to the Chiefs Broncos game.
Ah, okay, good. That's fun.
So
Who won the
good
game?
because
I did not follow that one closely,
The
or
Chiefs
meaning at
won,
all.
and I'll tell you what, it was at all. Yeah. No, the Chiefs won. I've been a Chiefs fan for a long, long time because I grew up in Missouri and we liked the
Mhm.
Rams when we had the Rams. Don't get me wrong. Totally love Kurt Warner and
Until they skip town,
and that
right?
whole crowd, right? But no, but growing up, I mean, the Cardinals football team left when I was really young. So we just always watched the Chiefs. That was our kind of
Mm.
our go-to team. So yeah, it was actually really cool. It was back and forth a lot on who. I mean, we thought the Chiefs were gonna like have a blowout, but anyway, the bad part. Let me tell you this. And I don't know, you've been to probably a lot of different stadiums in your life of all
I've
sorts,
been
right?
to several across some different sports. Sure, yeah.
Have you been to Mile High
I have
before?
not. No.
So first of all, just, I think St. Louis area is around 600 feet above sea level, just to like level set, where what I'm used to. I come out here, and of course, you know, the atmosphere is different and you're higher up. But then we had tickets way up in the top, which at the
Ooh,
time of purchase seemed like a great idea. We're like 28 rows up into the top of that thing. And
way up
I'm
there.
not going to lie. I mean, I'm only 51, but by the time I climbed all the way up to our row, like I seriously could not have gotten back down to like go get a drink or a hot dog or anything. It's like I'm having to send the teenagers down to like
Yeah, well, it's
take
useful
care
to
of me.
have them
So,
around, right? They can do that. They can
oh
do that
my
climbing in the
gosh.
thin air. Absolutely.
I had no idea. So, yeah, like watching a game there is an actual workout because if you walk up the steps, that's
Yeah.
it. You're done for the day. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's good. I'm glad that was
How was,
fun. I'm
yeah.
glad you were able to get out there and do that. That's great. I'm glad you were
Yeah.
able to make it in the first place, Trish, because the flight cancellations in the
Mm,
United States are an ongoing problem, have been for basically since before Christmas. And while this is not directly tied to flight cancellations, Trish, this is interesting. I read this just a little while ago. According to a research firm called Capital Economics, okay,
hmm
an estimated 5 million Americans called out sick from work just last week, for the whole week or at least part of the week.
Wow.
That's 2% of the United States labor force. Doesn't seem like a lot, but 5
That's
million
a
folks
lot.
out of work. And just everybody's got their anecdotes locally, though, about mostly with schools, right? Because kids were meant to
Yeah.
be back in school following holiday break and winter break. School districts all around the country are just having dozens, if not hundreds, of teachers and other school staff members having to call out sick, basically primarily due to COVID and sort of COVID cases and contact tracing, that it's becoming increasingly difficult for a lot of these schools to even function, right? We're hearing stories of like schools that are doing staggered days and the
hmm
teachers that they have available teaching in the high school, and then the next day they run down to the middle school, and the next day they run down to the elementary school, et cetera, to try just to keep things
Right.
going. It's got to be chaotic. I don't have kids in school anymore of that age, but I do feel for the kids as well as to the teachers and of course working parents who are just trying to keep things together, into year 3 of this. So I hope it's going. Hope it's going to start getting better.
I hope so, but you know what? It's interesting. I feel like I'm glad we do these live so often because things change so quickly. Just the other day, we were talking about maybe having schools go remote, and you're right. Now it's like across the country. Our kids' high school has now extended remote learning. At least it's
Mm,
on a day-to-day basis, but the difference is, Steve, I think it was weird. The Delta variant didn't seem to spike as much, you
right.
know, where teachers were calling out. and maybe the vaccine was working better on Delta. I don't know. You and I aren't medical professionals, but it does seem like this is much more contagious. Now, it's not as typically, you don't get it as bad if you're vaccinated, right? But you still get it. So that's the real difference. I think, at least in our community, that's what we've seen. The numbers are increasing every day. And I'll be honest with you, it was like I had made these plans last summer. We actually bought these football tickets like as soon as they went on sale. So coming out here, we didn't have a problem getting out here, but just in talking to my own, my son came with me, his friend, my nephew. When we go back, like obviously we're trying to stay away from people as much as we can now. And I think I'm going to lock down again, honestly. I don't know how, I mean, are you kind of in that mode too, where you're just trying to not go out at the moment? Like, I feel like this one's so contagious.
Yeah, I'm riding it out. I haven't been going to do too much, but I wasn't really even before this. I was like you, kind of waiting before Omicron, kind of waiting for business travel to maybe start coming back, and maybe we'll do some events again, et cetera, et cetera. That seems like that's going to be on pause for a little while longer. So yeah, I guess I am just riding it out too. And hopefully everybody watching this is riding it out safely as well. Trish, just a couple quick things. I know you're on the road and got things to do, but Trish, we talked about these influencer lists a couple of weeks ago, these kind of phony.
Oh gosh.
Today, Trish, just a couple of hours ago, and perhaps if you check your email, you'll have the same message. I was informed, though, Trish, this is exciting.
Are you on a list? Wait, do we need a drum roll?
I could be.
There goes the phone. I shouldn't drum roll.
I could be on a list. I could be named one of the top 10 inspiring HR leaders of 2022 by something called Industry Era. Never heard of them, but that's who sent me this message.
Do you have to pay for this list?
Trish, for the low price of $1,800, I could be one of the top 10 inspiring HR leaders of 2022. How about that?
Wow.
That's exciting. That's a good Monday.
That's amazing. I mean, what is today's date? Is it the 10th?
It is January 10th.
So we are 10 days into, and if you count the first, because really everybody's off the first. So 9 days into the new year, and you have done enough of a body of work that you could be one of the top 10.
I'd say so.
In the country, in the world.
I feel like I have been quite inspirational over these last several
Congratulations.
days.
I'm going to toast you.
Thank you.
I would say don't pay the $1,800. I'm going to put you,
holding on.
I'm going to announce it here live. You are number one on my list, on the Trish McFarlane list of top HR influencers of 2022, of the decade. I'm gonna go be of the decade, Steve.
I might write them back though. I might write them back just to have fun and say, listen, I like this. 1,800 sounds reasonable. What's it going to cost for me to be number one? I don't want to just be in the top 10. I want to literally be.
You're going to mess with them?
I want to be named the most inspiring HR leader of 2022. I want to see if that happens. So.
Oh my gosh. You should. You do it as a test. Let's see what happens. They're probably going to just block you or something. Or here's even better. Say, I will do this if you all will pay me $1,800 to be on our top influencer list. You offer them the same offer.
Just swap the 1,800.
It's in kind.
Okay.
Yeah, if they give us a name, we'll put them on our top list of we need a list. You know what? It's funny. We joke about lists a lot, right? But some of them are really helpful, right?
That literally happened today, but go ahead.
Especially, no, you should, first of all, if you're listening to this and you get that kind of pitch, do not pay to be on a list. That is absolutely not worth it. But you know what? In that vein, though, we do know a lot of people that are influential that maybe some of the listeners don't know about. Maybe we should have just a little list of, not an all-inclusive list, of course, that's impossible, but a list of people. I think there's something to be said for that, because back in the day, before Twitter even had lists, if you can think way back to 2008 or 7 or so, 9.
Pretty young.
And we were all kind of doing that, right? We were making our own lists of who to follow. So if you are new to social media, maybe you're more junior in your career, you don't know who to follow, I can see that they are helpful, definitely.
Yeah. So. Well, I'll be curious to see if that list does get published and who's on it. So, Trish, you mentioned you were at the football game, and you were talking about you were too tired to get a hot dog. I actually have a hot dog item that I wanted to touch on very briefly.
You do?
Yes, Trish. This is exciting. The
Okay.
NBA's Houston Rockets, Trish, the Houston Rockets are selling in their arena this year a
Okay.
bacon, mac and cheese, and jumbo hot dog, which sounds exciting, but Trish, it is also topped with a smattering of Fruit Loops cereal. How about that? So bacon, mac and cheese, Fruit Loops cereal, jumbo dog.
Fruit Loops.
I'm in. A little
Fruit
sweetness, a little
Loops?
texture. I want to try that. If I ever get myself to Houston, Trish, I'm
You're
sampling
gonna
that hot
try
dog.
that?
I am.
Wow. I feel like, there was at one point where you made some different food things that you tried on air. I think you should try that maybe later this week.
All right, I'll
Do you
have
have
to.
Fruit Loops? Go buy
I
some a tiny thing of Fruit Loops.
I do not have Fruit Loops. I can procure some. I probably, I don't know if I have any of those ingredients, but I'm certain I can obtain them and put that together. Maybe Friday, Trish. That'd be a good Friday show.
Yeah, Friday show.
'Cause I
You
think
know
after
what? Now
eating
that
that, I
hot
may need a
dog,
little break.
I feel like that hot dog would be good with maybe like some crunched up Cheetos.
Yeah, that would be good.
That I could eat. Fruit Loops? Oh, I don't know. You know what? It's got to be good. They wouldn't make it if it wasn't like tested, right?
Of course not, Trish. Who would? I'm sure the quality control is very, very high down there in Houston. All right,
I don't
Trish, I
know.
think I'm going to let you go. Get back to
All
whatever
right.
you're doing, fleeing the authorities, et cetera, et cetera. One thing I do recommend, Trish, if you are on the run, it's just something I learned a
Yes.
long time ago, is
Okay.
to paint your car that you're using as
Okay.
a car, paint two different colors on opposite sides. So the right side could be like blue and the left side could be like red.
Oh,
Because what you
okay.
want is conflicting eyewitness reports.
That's a great tip, actually. Have you ever heard of that happening? Has that happened?
Maybe.
Maybe, or did you just make that up?
I might have just made that up, but I think it's a good idea.
You know what I made up today, and then I'll let you go. I was driving in Denver toward the mountains, right? And there's all these, today it's a gorgeous day. I wish I wasn't behind a building. I'd literally show you all these mountains. It's beautiful, clear day. But I'm looking at all these beautiful summits, and I don't know which ones they are. And I think, when is the day going to come where our entire, oh my gosh, windshield, I'm like blanking out. Your windshield should be like where you could either say or touch like an object in the windshield and it would tell you what it is.
Yeah, no, I think that's coming.
Kind of like Google Glasses.
Like an augmented reality thing, which is going to identify what's in front of you.
Yeah, what those summits were.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would
That's
say
probably
like,
out there.
oh, that's.
I'm guessing
You
that
think-
probably exists somewhere. Yeah.
So I want that to be a normal thing in our windshield. So it wouldn't be on all the time, but if you activated it, it would give you the layout of, whoa, hello, hi. I dropped the phone. Anyway, I think that would be really cool to have. So that's all I
Nice.
have for today.
All right, good stuff. We will be back on Wednesday. New HR Happy Hour show dropping tomorrow, and we'll see you back on Wednesday.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye for now, everyone.